Brian O'Leary, who was supposed to go to the moon, and to Mars. And I took a class that Edgar Mitchell was teaching. He was the sixth man to step onto the moon.
Right.
And I said to him one day, it must be tough to live that lie. And he got red in the face, and he said, you're here to take my class. Don't you ever mention the moon to me again. But Brian O'Leary said, they could have faked it. So.
Well, just so you know, my information is that they did both. They actually they made a fake situation, and they also had a real one. But at any rate, that's a very interesting story. So I'm looking this up, and it says on July 20th, 1969 is when they appeared to have landed on the moon. That's the Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, team. And that's
all the photos from that mission are of Buzz Aldrin, not one of Mitchell, of the other guy, Neil Armstrong.
What do you
Neil Armstrong took all the pictures. The other guy didn't take any.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay, it's called Apollo 11.
Yeah. So later on, I was doing. I set up the projectors, the mics, and whatever they needed for the sound system for the seminar. And then I made the tape recordings of these lectures from the seminar, and we sold them. And a guy came up to me and said, I'd like a tape that you just made. So I gave him one. And he said, instead of paying you, I'd like to trade you. And I said, what's on your tape? And he said, don't listen to it till you get home. So when I got home, I taped it and or listened to the tape, and it was President Lyndon Johnson. And you hear him hit the table with his hand. He said, damn it, I told you guys. And they said, but sir, he says, don't you butt me. You promised Kennedy you could get him a man on the moon, and you haven't done it. Where are you? And they said, sir, there's a Van Allen belt. We can't get through it. The guys will die if they go through it. It's radioactive. And if they get on the other side, this radioactivity from the sun will kill them. There is no way we can do it. And he said, you're going to do it. You got 2 years. If you don't get me a man on the moon in 2 years, I'm closing NASA down. You'll be fired. You'll never work in the United States again. And he slammed the door and walked out. And so they hired Stan Kubeck, I believe it was the guy who made the movie, and we've never gone. So Sally Ride, who was the first female astronaut.
Okay, sorry,
Pardon?
Stanley Kubrick. You're talking about Stanley Kubrick.
Yes, I believe that's the man
The
who
filmmaker.
did the movie.
Right, okay.
Yes. So George Bush, the first George Bush, Pepe, he called Sally Ride into his office and said, would you please come in and talk to me? So she did, and he said, I'd like you to get a crew together, knowledgeable people, and put your heads together and tell me how soon you could get me a man on the moon. And she said, sir, that's a pretty tall order. And he says, I know, but he said, I want to know how soon we could do it, and if we could do it, and any idea of how expensive it would be. So she came back and said, sir, if you gave us an unlimited budget, we might be able to do it in 28 years. Now, how did they do it in 2 years, 50 years ago or 40 years ago, and now it's going to take 28 years?
Okay, the story about George Bush, are you saying both these stories were on the tape the man gave you?
Yeah, and in my tape room, I've got a couple of thousand master tapes, and I've been searching for that one for a year now, and I can't find it. The one from Lyndon Johnson.
Okay.